Hello, good morning, everyone. Uh, Hope you all are doing good. And there is something very special and very useful thing what I have come up with all for all of you. Here is a series of grammar topics, which is definitely going to help you in your regular academic studies. And I am Devraj, your host and your trainer. And to start off, uh, let's start with the first topic in English grammar, that is articles. So by the way, before I get on with the presentation, I just want to check with you, what do you understand by articles? Anyone here who will be able to answer me? Okay, so let's get on with the topic. So we have here four subsections: introduction to articles, types of articles, and we have both that the grammar format and the written format, as well as the writing effectively using the correct articles. Let's move on. So the first over here is introduction to articles. Okay, so what is an article? So articles are basically a critical grammatical component that specify and contextualize your nouns within sentences and phrases. So basically, to simplify this statement, articles are basically words which are used in a sentence to give it a proper meaning and a rationale. We will go with the examples in the upcoming slides, so that will help you in a much better way to understand this. Foundational understanding of article is essential for clear, concise and grammatically correct English communication. So as I earlier said, so if you have a proper concept about article and the usage of article, so that will basically help you in easing out your usage of articles in the correct manner in your daily day-to-day sentences. So let's move on. So purpose of the article. So basically, just to go with the first point, it provides a concise overview of the article's main objective and goals. Then clearly define the scope and the focus of the article's context for readers. Set expectations for what information will be covered within the document, and finally establish the foundational knowledge necessary before diving into the specifics. So basically, just in a very smaller way, in a very simpler form, if I want to understand the purpose of articles, so it basically adds on the right texture to your sentence, the right value add to your sentence. It basically enriches your sentence in the best possible manner, so that it caters the right meaning at the end of the day. So let's move on. So we move on to the second topic, that is definite articles. So as I said, articles again in English grammar are of two types. One is definite article and the other one is indefinite article. So we are basically starting up with the first category, that is definite articles. So as the word very much say, definite, it's self-explanatory. What is definite? Definite is something like when you are saying specific about something. So that is what the word definite means. Like the book, say for example, the book Ramayana, Mahabharata. So you are speaking about a particular book. Or say a pen, you have a Mobala pen, you have a Reynolds pen. So you are specifically mentioning about a particular product here. So whenever there is an essence of definite thing, we use an article in English grammar to establish the fact that you are trying to speak about a particular person, a particular product, or a particular thing. So here it goes. So in English grammar, the definite article is the, that is the, which refers to a specific noun already known or understood. It indicates uniqueness, or basically helps in mentioning about within the context about anything which is very very particular. So specificity in the language is if it distinguishes a particular item from a group, making the reference clear and unambiguous for the audience. So let's move on. We have some examples which will make you feel more comfortable. Here it goes. So use before a singular or plural nouns when the noun is specific or has already been mentioned. It points to a particular item that both the speaker and the listener are aware of. Like as I said earlier, this example, the Manchester United match was intense yesterday. As you know, Manchester United is a very famous football club. So we are speaking here about a particular football club. That's the reason it is prefixed with the article the. So one more example, I finish the chemistry project we discussed last month. So why the word the has been placed in the before the chemistry? Because we are here trying to say specifically about the subject chemistry, because you must be having a lot of other projects, other subjects projects, but here in this case we are specifically stressing on chemistry. Let's move on. Now let's move on to indefinite article. So as the word says, indefinite is very vague, like when we don't know about like anything particular, so use this kind of articles here. So these articles basically introduce the new information, but not in a very specific manner. A is used before singular conceptualize words, like singular to contextualize nouns, and a consonant sound, like say a cat, a house, and they refer to specific non-specific kind of items indicating one of the many or a general type. Any is used before a singular contextualized noun, like countable nouns basically, rather, like where there is a vowel sound, like say an apple, an r. So it's more of a vowel sound. You have to remember one thing very clearly: whenever there is a vowel sound involves, it will be prefixed with an, and the rest of the occasions it will be a. By the way, now before I jump on to the examples, let's roll back and like to understand what is your idea about vowels. How many vowels do we have in English grammar? We have 5: a, e, I, o, u. I hope you all are aware of this. So let's move on now. So a, indefinite article, as I said before, it is used before a singular countable nouns that begins with a consonant sound. It refers to any one member of a group. Now in this example, I bought a new laptop for my YouTube channel. A new laptop. So I have not given any brand name here. Now if I rephrase this sentence, I bought the Lenovo laptop for my YouTube channel. Can you see the difference here? Because here in the second sentence I am specifically mentioning about the brand of the laptop. That's the reason instead of a I have used the word the. But here it's just a laptop, it's any laptop, so that's the reason indefinite sense is there, so I have used the word a. So I bought a new laptop for my YouTube channel. The next example, Debraj needs a pen to finish his biology notes. So here also if you see a pen, a is an article which is an indefinite article. It is not mentioning about any particular pen or a maker of pen. It's just, it can be any pen. Hope you have understood this. Let's move on. And now, as I said, these are basically related to your vowel sounds, as I reiterated here before: a, e, I, o, u. So wherever there is a sound like word where a, e, I, o, u sound is there, but in a singular form, countable nouns. So basically there, instead of a, you will use it an, like in this case, she is an intelligent student. So here intelligent, the word starts with I, and I forms as a part of vowel, but if you see the pronunciation of the word, it is intelligent. So you have this vowel sound. So that's the reason it is an is used before the word intelligent. Now one more example here. It took an hour to optimize the settings for MS Word. An hour, although it is H, but the pronunciation is like O, hour, O. So can you see those sounds falls in the bracket of vowel. Let's move on. Now I hope by this time you have got a little bit of hold what are articles all about, and how are we using the articles, like basically a and an, which of the occasions. But we also need to remember there are a few exceptions in English grammar where we should not use a or an blindly as a part of the rule book. Now here are a few examples, like a before vowel letters, the ear sound. Even though these words start with a vowel, they begin with a consonant Y sound like U. Because of this sound, we use a instead of an. Please mark this down, keep a note in your notebook, so that way forward you will not do the mistake. Like in this case, a university. Why it is a and why it is not an? Because we use an in before umbrella. But here we are using a, although the word starts with U, university, because the sound of the word university is U. It is not umbrella. So see the difference here. Umbrella is umbrella. So it is A sound. Here it is U sound. That's the reason. The exception is we will use A before university. Same like a uniform, a unicorn, a European country. So these are few, but you have loads like this. So please remember the exceptions, and whenever you are using it in a sentence, please be mindful. Let's move on. And before a consonant letters, the silent H. Now sometimes a word starts with a consonant, but the letter is silent. If the word begins with a vowel sound, you must use an. Like an R. Now can you see here? The H, O-U-R, the word hour, H is silent. We are not pronouncing the word H here. Our word starts itself from hour, O-U-R. So that's the reason the article is an here. An hour, an honest person, an heir. So in each of these occasions, the first letter of the word is silence. Hope you got the point. Let's move on. Now this is acronyms and abbreviation. Now you all know what is acronym and abbreviation. It is a short form. So when using an abbreviation, the article depends on how you pronounce the letters themselves. An FBI agent. Okay, so FBI you all know, it's a Federal Bureau of Investigation. So an FBI agent, a CIA agent, an MP3, a NATO summit. So if you see here, all these are acronyms or abbreviation, and it depends on the vowel sound. Like in the first case, FBI is F sound. Can you see here, which is mentioned in the bracket. In CIA it is C sound, S-E-E-C, CIA, although it starts as C capital I-A, but the sound is like S-E-E-C. MP3 it is M sound. So if you see here, MP3, M starts with a vowel sound. That's the reason it's an MP3. And here in NATO summit, NATO as a word, we pronounce NATO as a word, which starts with a consonant sound, hence it is a NATO. Hope you are clear. Okay, now let's move on. The one exception, words starting with O usually take an, but one is an exception because it sounds like it starts with a W, like one, W-O-1, W-O-N as we say. One-way ticket, so it is A. It is not an one-way ticket. It is a one-way ticket. A one-time event. It is not an on-time event. So remember this. This is an exception. So when you are putting it in a sentence, so you will put it in this way. A one-way ticket is purchased from the counter. Clear? A one-time event is held at the stadium. Hope you are clear now. Now historical age. This is also like part of the exception. For words like historical, or sometimes hotel, usage can vary. In formal traditional English, some people use an historic because they don't strongly pronounce the word age. In modern standard English, it is much more common to use the historic because the H is now typically pronounced. Both are often accepted, but it is safer and more common today. It is A safe, but is safer, but A is safer and more common today. So basically A, like we are basically using it over here. Okay, so now I hope you all have gathered. So this is a quick slide of writing effective articles. So it's all about how you are using the articles in your daily sentences. So understand articles, to incorporate them perfectly in your sentences. Hope the examples have helped you a lot. And so basically this cycle, what you are seeing on the screen, is basically helping you to understand about how you can engage yourself with the articles in writing sentences. So end of it you have to understand the concept of articles, where to use which article, and how to use the articles in your English day-to-day sentences. So that's the end of my presentation. Hope you all have got a fair bit of good understanding about articles by this time, but still I am here always for you all. If you have any kind of doubts, any kind of queries, any kind of clarity, please post your questions in the comment section. I will definitely get back to you. So see you once again next time with the next topic, and that will be noun. So see you soon. Thank you so much.